Okay, so let's get right into it. There's this really fascinating, kind of weird quirk that's hardwired into all of our brains, and it makes us want things more just because we're told we can't have them. It's a fundamental trigger, and believe me, smart marketers, negotiators, and yeah, unfortunately, manipulators have known about this for a long, long time. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
I mean, come on, you already know the answer, right? You want to press it. Of course you do. It doesn't even matter what the button does. A second ago, you didn't even know this button existed. But now, that simple little sign, do not press, has created this almost irresistible urge. And this one thought experiment, it really gets to the very heart of a super powerful psychological principle.
And that urge? It actually has a name: psychological reactance. That's the fancy official term for that feeling you get when it seems like your freedom of choice is being threatened or taken away. It's this immediate, gut-level pushback against being controlled. It's a powerful drive to just reassert your own autonomy. Suddenly, that red button isn't just a button anymore, right? It's a symbol of a freedom you suddenly feel like you have to protect.
And look, this isn't some brand new idea. We've known about this for a while. Way back in the 1960s, a psychologist named Jack Brand was the first to really pin this down. He figured out that the second you restrict someone's access to something, their brain just perceives it as a direct threat. And what's really wild is that this isn't a logical, thought-out process. No, it's a primal gut reaction to defend our freedom.
Now, this is exactly where a lot of people get it wrong. They hear this and they think it's just about scarcity. They'll start yelling, "Hurry, only 3 spots left." But that's just fake urgency, and let's be honest, people can smell that kind of thing from a mile away. Real reactance, the powerful stuff, it's triggered by something much more subtle: selectivity. Think about it. It's the difference between a nightclub shouting, "limited space," and a club with a velvet rope that makes you feel like you have to earn your way in. One's a cheap gimmick, the other makes people desperate to get inside.
So how do you use this effectively and, ethically? Well, let's break down one framework that does this. It's called the gatekeeper method, and it's designed to completely flip the script on persuasion so you go from being the one who's chasing to the one who's being chased.
It's got 4 key moves. You've got the open, the reveal, the close, and the filter. Each step is built to use psychological reactance in a really subtle but really powerful way.
So it all starts in the first minute of the conversation. Instead of trying to sell something, you become a gatekeeper. You say something like, "Look, before we get into it, I just want to make sure we're a good fit because my solution isn't for everyone." Boom. Immediately, their brain switches from "do I want this" to "wait, am I good enough for this?" You've just subtly triggered their reactance, and now they want to prove to you that they're a good fit.
Okay, next up, you reveal your standards. You're not just being picky, you're setting a high bar. So when you say something like, "This really only works for people who are decisive and ready to go," you're creating an identity that they want to claim for themselves. They'll actually start selling you on why they fit your criteria. Why? Because they want to reach that higher standard you just set.
And here comes the brilliant flip. After they've done all the work to prove they're a perfect fit, you just agree with them. You take all the pressure off. But then you hand the power right back. The final decision isn't about your product anymore. It's about their identity. For them to say no at this point would mean contradicting this whole picture of themselves they just painted for you.
And this all leads us to what might just be the 4 most powerful words in the entire world of persuasion. It's a phrase that sounds like it would do the exact opposite of what you want, but it is backed by an incredible amount of science.
And that's not just a random number. A massive meta-analysis looked at 42 different studies with over 22,000 participants. And they found that just adding a simple phrase that reminds someone they're free to choose, it nearly doubles the chances they'll say yes. That's just an astonishingly effective tool.
So why in the world is giving someone an out so powerful? Well, it's because the moment you genuinely tell someone, "Hey, you are free to say no," you completely diffuse their psychological reactance. There's nothing to push back against anymore. You've gotten rid of that feeling of being pressured or controlled, and paradoxically, that makes them way more likely to agree with you. You've opened the door for them, so they no longer feel the need to kick it down.
But, of course, like any powerful tool, these principles can be, well, they can be used for much darker purposes. When influence crosses that line, it becomes manipulation. So let's take a look at a few common tactics from the dark psychology playbook that prey on these exact same mental shortcuts.
First up is gaslighting. This is a truly malicious tactic where someone methodically just chips away at your sense of reality. They'll deny things they said, they'll twist events, they'll tell you you're being too sensitive or overreacting until you actually start to question your own memory, your own sanity.
It's a cruel way to get control by literally destroying someone's confidence in their own mind.
Next is fear-mongering. And this is all about making up or just exaggerating a threat to steer your behavior. We see this in politics all the time, right? When a group is painted as an enemy to rally support. Or in commercials that create anxiety about germs just to sell you a cleaning product. The goal is always the same. Make it feel more dangerous to do nothing than to do the thing they want you to do.
Then we have love bombing. Look, this isn't just being romantic. This is a tidal wave of affection that's designed to completely disarm you. It's constant praise, over-the-top gifts, saying you're the one way too fast. It's a tactic to make you dependent on them, so that when that fire hose of affection is suddenly replaced by controlling behavior, you're just left confused and clinging to that perfect image they created at the beginning.
Oh, you have definitely seen this one. Social proof plays on our natural tendency to just follow the herd. So manipulators exploit this by faking popularity. Buying fake followers to look important, using fake reviews, or even creating fake lines outside a store. It's all to make you think their product is in super high demand and you're about to miss out.
And finally, an old classic, guilt tripping. This is where your own empathy is turned into a weapon against you. You know the phrases, "After all I've done for you." That's not an honest expression of hurt. It's a calculated move. It's designed to make you feel responsible for their feelings, basically obligating you to do what they want just to make the guilt stop. So, knowing all this, how do you protect yourself? Well, it's actually simpler than you might think. The best defense against these tactics isn't some clever counter tactic, it's just awareness.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. At its very core, psychological reactance is just that primal instinct to protect our freedom. We learn that true persuasion doesn't use fake scarcity. It uses selectivity to make us want to qualify. But we've also seen how that same instinct can be twisted by dark tactics that prey on our fear, our love, and our guilt. Just understanding how these levers work is the biggest and most important step to becoming immune. When you can name the game, you're a lot less likely to get played.
At the end of the day, understanding psychological influence, it's like being handed a very powerful tool. It can be used to build bridges, to communicate better, to persuade ethically, or it can be used as a weapon to manipulate people. The principles themselves, they're not good or bad, they're neutral. The only thing that really matters is the intention behind them. So the real question isn't just knowing this stuff, it's deciding how are you going to use it.